Bonjour et bienvenue chez French Sounds. Welcome to French Sounds. I've received several requests from subscribers asking me for more work on the French R. So what we're going to do today is practice the R in different linguistic environments. We're going to take each French vowel and pronounce it both before and after the R. That way you can see the differences in the vowel position and how it affects the perception or the difficulty in the pronunciation of the R. The easiest vowel with which to pronounce the R is the A, the front A. The mouth is wide open, the tip of the tongue is down where it needs to be for the R. For the R in French, the tip of the tongue is down, and the R is pronounced way in the back of the throat. It's like a friction or a gargling sound in the back of the throat. So let's work with the A, and we're going to work our way up with the spread vowels, the front spread vowels. Then we're going to do front rounded vowels. And then we're going to do the back rounded vowels, the mute E, and 4 nasal vowels. Alors, répétez après moi s'il vous plaît. Ara, ara, ere, ere, errer, errer, iri, iri. You may notice that as your tongue moves up for the higher vowels, you have to maintain the tension in the front part of the mouth and keep the tongue in position for that vowel sound, and it's back here that you're pronouncing the R. So you have the front tension for the vowel position and the R back here. Let's try the highest vowel that we did so far. I. I. Ri. I. Ri. Okay, we're going to start on the A again, and now we're going to do front rounded vowels. Ara, ara, heure, heure, heureux, heureux, uru, uru. Again, for those high vowels, the tongue is very, very tense, very steady, and it stays right where it is in the front, and the R is articulated in the back part of the tongue. Now let's move on to the back rounded vowels. We're going to start with the back A, which still exists in standard French but has been lost in several varieties of French, especially Parisian French. Répétez après moi s'il vous plaît. Ara, 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 oro, oro, ourou, ourou. Now the back vowels are maybe more problematic for the pronunciation of the R because you have the tongue bunched up, especially for the higher vowels. You have the tongue bunched up in the back of the oral cavity, and you have it very tight and very tense up here, let's say for the oo, but it's lower here in the back of the throat, in the back of the tongue, that you're pronouncing the R. So you're going to have oo, oo, r, oo, oo, roo, oo, roo. Let's move on to the mute E. The mute E is the central, a type of neutral vowel, not as much tension. It's a little bit of rounded lips though. R, r. And now for the nasal vowels. Let's start with the front nasal vowel. Un, rein, un rein. You may find that there's something strange going on in the back of the throat, because for the nasal vowel, the uvula is down, the back of the tongue is slightly down to allow the uvula and the soft palate to move down so that the air can flow through the nasal passages. And yet somehow you still have to pronounce the R back here. Un rein, 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 rein. Okay, let's go on to the back A. En rang. That might be a little easier because you have the en and the tongue is all the way back in almost the right position for the R. Let's try it. En rang, en rang. And then you have the en rond, en rond. Again, the articulation is slightly higher for the en than where the R is pronounced. And then finally we'll do the sound, another sound which has been lost from Parisian French. Un rein, un rein. So let's try it with a short sentence. Régine reçoit 13 robes rouges. Again. Régine reçoit 13 robes rouges. And a little faster. Régine reçoit 13 robes rouges. Très bien. Keep up the good work. Et à la prochaine. Au revoir.